Today's video is the first one I'll be doing in review of a Shaw Brothers film for what is known now as Shawtember, for the people who celebrate Shaw Brothers. Not that you have to just focus it on September, Shawtember, but yearly, year-round, I suppose. But this will be my first sort of rundown a little bit. Just a quick video showing a few of the Blu-ray releases. I do have a lot of DVDs, and I have a Shout Volume 1, Shaw Brothers Classics Volume 1 on the way. We already have 4 volumes of that out, and I'm just getting started on attempting to make the purchase. So I'm way behind. I know Arrow's put out 2 sets already, have a third on pre-order, and not to mention the Brave Archer set and the T-Lung David Chang set from Shout as well. But in due time, if I can slowly pick them up, I will. So I do have Volume 1 on the way. So I'm looking forward to diving into those. But I'll just talk about these 4 from 88 films that I have. So it's a few days into September already, and I've only watched 2 of these. Now, these aren't going to be reviews for those. I'm just going to kind of discuss a little bit about my history with Shaw Brothers. I grew up with Jackie Chan, was kind of my initial dive into Asian cinema. And as a 9 or 10-year-old kid, I was just enamored with Jackie Chan and his movies when they came out. But as I saw them, I fell in love with Jackie Chan. So, and it's just went on from there to Jet Li and to many others. But that was a Golden Harvest production, usually. From the 80s on, it was usually Golden Harvest was Jackie's company. Now, he has worked with Shaw Brothers many times in the 70s. And even as a kid in a movie called The Love Love Eternal. I think it's a musical maybe, but it was 1963 maybe, if I'm correct on the year. So Jackie would have been 10 or 11. So even as a kid, it was a Shaw Brothers production. Now, as I got older, I kind of moved on from just Jackie, because Dragon Dynasty, as I was a teenager, those movies were coming out, and it wasn't just to focus on Jackie. Jackie's what got me started, but discovering martial arts and Asian cinema in general, Dragon Dynasty as a new company I was noticing their things getting released, those movies. And so as a teenager, well, a young teenager, early teens, so I was still enough of a new fan that I was getting more and more excited about finding these and discovering them for the first time. A lot of movies we hadn't had access to. And a company called Celestial Pictures, I think, bought the Shaw Brothers library, maybe, or licensed them out. I'm not sure how that all works, but I know in the UK, the Region 2 DVDs were getting a lot of Shaw Brothers releases through the Celestial Pictures. So it wasn't accessible here. I didn't know anybody with a Region Free player. I don't think they were very talked about at that time either. And so what I was able to get were the Dragon Dynasty releases as they would come out and as they were available near me at my stores. I didn't yet order online. That wasn't a thing for me, not until I was in my 20s, really. So I was just, and that's not quite as fun as just going to the store and finding them. But I was doing my research. Dragon Dynasty had a website. I would access the website just to keep track, and they would always announce one on the homepage when it was coming out. So that's how I got into a lot of the Shaw Brothers stuff, because the Dragon Dynasty company was putting out Shaw Brothers. And so the One-Armed Swordsman, Return of One-Armed Swordsman, 36 Chamber, King Boxer, a lot of these they were getting access to them, but these were the big ones from the New York theaters and the ones that made a bigger impact in the United States. So we, again, limited to what we were able to see from Shaw Brothers. It was already, as they were getting them, they were releasing the popular ones already popular. So we weren't getting a lot of new faces and new, more unknown to us in the US Shaw Brothers films. So jump a little bit ahead, and 88 Films, this UK company for Blu-ray, and they've released DVD as well, they got licenses for releasing movies. And 2019, 2020, I started actually considering getting the region-free player and getting movies that I otherwise couldn't watch on a domestic player from purchase from the US. So I would build my collection over a year or two, and then finally make the big purchase, get a region-free player. And now I'm kind of unstoppable with what I'm able to access. And I've got these 4 from 88 Films that I am starting off with. I have seen Casino Tycoon. Good movie. There was a sequel, but not released, from 88 Films. Hopefully they get it at some point. But when they were doing standard 88 Films to start off, they were releasing them, and they were numbering them. Now there's more than just 4. I'm not quite sure how many, but you can see I have a certain amount. I have 3, 8, 14, 16, and there are a few others that I wouldn't mind getting. Nothing I'm jumping at the moment, individually, because I think some of these might get re-released, either from a renewed license from 88 Films or from someone else. Now, I know Arrow's got some of the titles, Shout's got some of the titles, and 88 has just begun, slowly, the last 2 years, putting out more individual 88 Films, Shaw Brothers releases. So it's nice to know that we're getting those, and a lot of these ones are harder to get now, because these are technically, I think, out of print. But let me talk about the features. I'm a big fan of commentaries. As I said, I grew up with Jackie Chan. The English dubs, the releases we were getting here. I grew up with Dragon Dynasty's line of films, and Jackie's some of Jackie's movies in the 90s and early 2000s were released by Media Asia on home video and things like that, something to that extent. And a big part of my love for these movies, and a key player in the movies, was Bey Logan. Now, I know he worked with Media Asia, and that's how he had a lot of accessibility to be able to do productions and things. So Jackie Chan's My Story and My Stunts were Media Asia films, Gen X Cops, Gen Y Cops, and a few others. Now, that's nostalgic for me because that's the time I grew up. And a lot of the movies I love, and I love that logo, the Media Asia logo, and I have a soft spot for it. And that's one of my favorite eras of Hong Kong cinema. I know I'm going a little off of Shaw Brothers, but I do want to mention that I really appreciate that while he was the primary commentator for years for these movies, martial arts movies, Shaw Brothers, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, those Dragon Dynasty DVDs are important to me because a lot of those, I think they had 63 releases. I'd say at least half of them have been now put on Blu-ray. You're lucky if 3 of them have Bey Logan's commentary on them, so I'll always have those. He will always be my commentary guy. And despite whatever legal rumors, as far as I'm concerned, rumors, because there's not anything beyond that I can see, that shouldn't be a reason to really hinder having that knowledge, that wealth of knowledge that he has. You're actually taking away from these movies by not having that on there. And maybe that's just me thinking that that's the reason, or there's some sort of, because the Weinstein Company also was involved in Dragon Dynasty, that for some reason you're not allowed to carry over features or newly produced features for those DVDs. Now, Bey Logan's commentaries were on the UK Hong Kong Legends releases, so I don't think that was Weinstein's involved, even for a UK branch. But the commentaries were probably new, because I know the features from those DVDs carried over to our DVDs, which carried over to Eureka's Blu-rays and 88 Films Blu-rays. And the commentaries have not. Now, let's say Casino Tycoon, because I have watched this. This has a Bey Logan commentary. Of course, this was not released, as far as I know, in the UK on Hong Kong Legends. It was not released on Dragon Dynasty, so it's a brand new commentary. Maybe that's the reason those commentaries can't change or can't get licensed to these, because it's some legal mumbo jumbo with the fact that Weinstein is kind of the owner of those. Bey Logan has no say so. But I've heard it's the opposite. I heard it's due to rumors they don't want to work with them. I think it's a big detriment to the Hong Kong cinema community. I really do. Personally, I would love every release that has a commentary, have 5 of them on there. Just have, you already have 1 or 2 on most releases. If you can't import those, why are we not signing on and letting him share his? He's been in the business, quite honestly, longer or close to Mike Leader. Now, you don't have to have the same commentators in the same room. You can have their own commentary, but I don't see why we can't have his. We're losing his knowledge. What he has to offer might be completely different in a 90 minutes commentary from someone else, because they get into personal thoughts and things about the movies, different scenarios, a lot of personal, like knowing the actors and things like that, things that somebody might just miss or not have time to mention because it's a fast-paced, you have to talk as the movie's playing. I really wish that Bey Logan was given the chance to come back and do these. Now, these releases are from, I want to say, 2018. We'll say 2018 to 2020. Now, he was signed on, obviously, to do these. Now, maybe it's a personal thing. Maybe he doesn't feel like doing commentaries anymore, for the most part. I don't, unless I asked him myself, I don't know that that'd be true. And I'd have to hear it from him. But these movies are very important to the community. And to a lot of people, his commentaries and his wealth of knowledge are the primary outlet for what I want to hear first. He's always going to be my go-to guy. Now, if anyone seems to have a problem with the artist, you separate the man from the art in a sense. His commentaries need to be on these. Going forward, if you can somehow strike a deal and do it and keep your personal things to yourself, it's not going to bring down your company. Even if a lot of people people want these movies, they're not going to not purchase it because of one commentary. To be quite honest, I'd say about 50% of your people don't listen to commentaries. They want the movie. People don't always want to sit and just listen, or they won't listen in depth. They'll throw it on in the background, which is cool. But I really think that it's important, and it's we're wasting times, the time it would take me to listen to one of these commentaries from Bey Logan, because he's on all these. He's not on all the numbered 88 releases of Shaw Brothers films, but he's on these 4. I deliberately bought these before I bought anything else because he's on them, and it makes the movie that much better, in my opinion. And so those DVDs, those Dragon Dynasty DVDs that I'm looking at, those are primary collector's items, in my opinion, because commentaries are no more. They're not on here. I know the one-armed swordsman for Dragon Dynasty, he did a commentary. Or he didn't do a commentary. I think that was somebody else. But I think there's a movie that carried over a commentary, or he was on the DVD from Dragon Dynasty, and now he's on the 88 Films Blu-ray of. Might be a different recording because of a licensing problem. But again, if that's the case, I think that it's important to come to terms with what's most important, and really make your decision on that, or make it clear, because a lot of us don't know. A lot of us are coming to assumptions. But I've heard a lot of negative feedback on Bey Logan, and I like the guy. I like the effort that he's put into Hong Kong cinema. It's just as important to the other people that are new in the game, and the few that have been around just as long as him. And there's a lot of people that like Bey. There's a lot of people that he's made friends with in the business. And I think it's just a negative situation. And if it's not, then I would love an explanation as to why he's been exempt from about this point on the last 4 to 5 years. So, but Shaw Timber, these are my 4 88 Films Blu-rays of Shaw films, and I'm starting off the month with these because I've seen the DVDs. I've had these for years. I'm looking forward to the Shout set, and I'm very much interested in the ones I haven't seen and the ones that have the coolest title. I know with Shaw Brothers, I'm only recently falling. I've liked them. I've liked them since I was a teenager. Again, with the Dragon Dynasty releases, they were just like a whole nother. There was like a split screen. If you could have Golden Harvest Productions and those studio productions, and have Shaw Brothers, they're one and the same in a way. I mean, it's like having action movies in America and action movies in Hong Kong. It's very, it's 2 different places with an ultimate goal, but they have their own charm to them. It's kind of like Golden Harvest and Shaw Brothers, but I know I'm running on. This is a 20-minute video, but sometimes it's good to get something off your chest. Maybe people won't watch it, or they'll shut it off at 5 minutes in. But I needed to make that known, that I know he's a big fan. Bey Logan's a big fan of the Shaw Brothers as well. And so throughout this month, I'll be doing some of the commentaries. I don't know how many reviews I'll do. It's still technically summertime. For me, my summer job is my second job, and it runs through the fall. So I'm constantly struggling to get movies watched, let alone being able to find the time to sit down and do a proper review. Maybe more of that will happen in the winter when I'm more of a my time's cut in half right now between my work because I'm just a busybody. I don't like to stay feeling lazy, so I work while the weather is good, and I will try to do some reviews and things for the channel with Shaw Brothers this month. Sadly, it's not going to be 30 days worth, the 30 movies worth. I'll try to get a good handful, maybe more if I can, but or at the very least do my complete Shaw Brothers collection again, and just kind of show my favorites and things. But these are worth getting if you can find find them on eBay. I don't think these are sold through 88 Films anymore. I think they sold out of their stock. Again, great company, and I know that they got this many more releases, and it's maybe some of these are in the Euro set, maybe the licenses have changed, I don't know. But I don't know that the features will stay the same. Obviously, the commentaries probably won't. If they were produced by 88 Films, they might include them on future releases or license those commentaries. But if you can find these for a good enough price, I haven't seen them all, but it's worth they look good, and they have some features. So, and they even come with, these early ones came with a Blu-ray and a DVD. This one's still in my player because I was watching it. And they come with the book, just a little book, but they have the original reversible art from Hong Kong. So it's 5 Element Ninjas, pretty dang good movie. I have not seen it until I watched this. Again, some of these are harder to get with the limited access until 88 put them out. But even before that, the only time we really had much access is those UK Celestial videos, DVD releases. And for us in the States, it was just whatever we were able to get from previous Dragon Dynasty releases. This is good. You know, Shaw Brothers they produce something like 700 plus. I don't know the exact number. I think it's a little less than 800. 760 maybe. I'm making this up, but it's 700 and beyond productions over 50 years or something. So it's nice that we're getting a lump of these at a time. That might be the only way we ever see them all get the release and help them to see the light of day. But Masked Avengers, pretty good. I think at 5 Element Ninjas I'm actually enjoying a bit more, but it's cool. DVD Blu-ray combo. The Dragon Missile I have not seen yet. I always thought the title was cool, and I always thought the original poster art was cool. It's not open, it's still sealed, but again, I started by getting the ones that had Bey's commentaries, because that's what I'm headed after first. But this title always intrigued me. It did. I said, what's the Dragon Missile? And Lolier. The poster art also got me, because poster art used to mean something back in the era of like people putting in-depth time to actually do it. These Blu-rays, the artists that we're getting from Eureka and 88 and Arrow, they're doing a good job on the new artwork, but something about that vintage artwork that initially got us into the video stores to get rentals and things was something very nostalgic and meaningful. Casino Tycoon. This is a Andy Lau film. I love Andy Lau. This is Shawtember, but it's also Andy Lau's birthday month at the end of the month, and I will be doing at least one, if not a couple, Andy Lau reviews when I can find the time closer to his birthday. So one of my favorite Hong Kong actors, probably my favorite Asian singer. He's very important. The experience I had with Jackie Chan, Andy Lau, when I discovered him about 10 years ago, I knew who he was. I didn't discover him, but really going heavy into his music about 10 years ago, and then more of his movies. Almost to that level of Jackie from when I was a kid. And so Andy Lau is definitely a very I think he's a little underappreciated here in the States, but he's a superstar in Asia. So I'm loving anytime we get a release from his filmography. I pre-ordered the limited website exclusive release of Future Cops solely because he was in it. Otherwise, I would have just put my money for something else. But I've never seen it. I don't own that one. And because it's limited, I want the best version. More so now because it is an Andy Lau film. If it was a website exclusive, it's something I had no special tie to and like wanting to jump and buy right off the bat, I would have passed it up. But Andy Lau, he's one of my favorites. Now I watched this Blu-ray the last 2 years, listened to the commentary twice, I think. And I didn't get the booklet. I know it had on the back it actually says booklet. There's no booklet. I think now they, if I'm not mistaken, they print sometimes they'll print that only on a limited number that's going to have the booklet. But here it says limited edition booklet. But I think they kind of stopped doing that. Because I bought this from 88's website when it was down to $5. I almost missed it. And then it went out of stock, but it was a single disc. It's single disc anyway, but it was a booklet free and slip cover free version edition. But good movie, Casino Tycoon. There's a sequel. Hopefully somebody releases it. But that's my really long kind of defense of Bey Logan / my limited knowledge about Shaw Brothers, aside from what I have in my collection. And I'm really looking forward to getting into more of these when I get my box set, and going forward and trying to get them as they come out or shortly thereafter, not a year later, but going forward, hopefully Shawtember, I can get a few more reviewed and at least watch one every other day because of how busy I've been. But I'm trying to do more with that so I can get a better understanding for the deeper cuts of Shaw Brothers. So thank you for watching.